How did you begin with this work? The work that you do?
It's been a personal situation, first of all, like always is. Yeah, I attracted in my reality a toxic relationship because yeah, I grew up seeing the relationship of my parents being toxic. And I promised myself not to ever be in a relationship where I'm not happy, and also with the idea of getting married and feeling like in a cage, feeling trapped, prisoner, and not being able to escape. So I rejected for many, many years the idea of getting married. And when finally I had this serendipity moment when I said, oh, maybe I'm losing something here. I opened myself to love. I thought that I had everything under control. In 1 or 2 weeks, somebody entered into my life. After 3 months, he asked me to get married, and I felt that chemistry, like butterflies in the stomach, and I said, yes, yes, yes. It's not that it was the first time when somebody was asking me to get married, no. So it wasn't the illusion of. Soon afterwards, I realized that he was exactly the profile, the same energy type as my father. So I was perpetuating the pattern in my family, especially in the woman's line, crap relationships. So I was angry, I was resistant, I was like my first instinct was to run away. But then I took responsibility and I said, I'm not a victim. I always rejected this idea. So I was beyond that feeling. Say, oh, why me? Why me? And then I also said to myself, I take responsibility for my part in this relationship. So I'm going to do the best I can. I started to go to therapy. And for me, something was missing in the therapy. They didn't really help that much. I understood. I identified where I can improve, but it wasn't enough. And is it coincidence? There are no coincidences. A friend of mine just told me one day that, oh, she's going for a training for a therapy. She is a psychologist and she wanted to train in energy therapy, quantic energy therapy. And I said, oh my God, this sounds very interesting. You go, you tell me how it is. I trust your judgment. Give me a session, and if I like it, I might go also. So it's happened like that. She did a session on me, and then I felt it. And that was my beginning. I went straight to do my training against my circle's opinion, family, even my husband that moment. I felt it inside. That's my path. That's my truth. And I just went for it. And since then, I do it every day. And that healed me, helped me to get rid of deep stored heavy emotions inside me, anger, resentment, sadness, guilt, and nourished the forgiveness, the acceptance, clear my mind, make me understand many things, why the other side is doing what it's doing, made me understand that it's not me, it's just to feel the information we carry inside that has a big role in our lives. I actually could see the black cloud around inside my field, but actually I'm wrong saying inside my field, inside my family's field. And I understood that I'm okay in my position. It's them that they don't have the clarity because they cannot see clearly. They are vibrating in low emotions, which is the fear and everything that comes out of fear. And I've chosen love, trust, acceptance, forgiveness. And yeah, that was magical. So I couldn't deny its power. And I stuck to my truth and what I'm doing.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that it was when you experienced it and that you had already been looking for a path, been looking for answers.
Of course, of course. This is the only way. And usually, when you reach rock bottom as a human being, then you start to ask yourself questions and you direct your attention not from outside because we like to blame the others, our circumstances. It's not me. It's look what happened to me. And then slowly, slowly, you shift the focus and you go in. And there is where all the answers are. And there is the liberation and the power. That's the most important.
I love this because it is like with chiropractic, it's not saying we're going to cure anxiety, we're going to cure depression. It's saying that your power is within you and that healing power is from within.
What is depression? What is anxiety in the end? They are just some emotions. It comes from fear. And that fear comes from some story that you tell yourself about yourself or about some event that happened to you. And they are just thoughts, they are just interpretation of something. It's just information. But we don't realize that all those thoughts and words we use in our mind or we speak them out loud, they have a power. They are energy. And they create emotions in us. And those emotions create a chemistry inside our body. And that chemistry can be positive or negative in the sense that we can activate the sympathetic nervous system, stress, cortisol, fight or flight system. And we flood our body, our cells with these nocive hormones in long term. Yeah, if we keep overthinking about the same story and we are stuck in the same emotion, or depending on the story we tell us to ourselves, we create a good chemistry, a positive chemistry, the chemistry of love with oxytocin, with serotonin, and then we flood our body with healing hormones that gives us happiness and make us joyful and make us vibrate high because, as I said, emotions have a frequency and their intensity is that leads us to then take decision and take action and we build our life. So yeah, the power is inside us and we impact in our health, physical health with the chemistry that we create, the body creates, but based on our thoughts and emotions. And when we understand this, it's like we are getting the power back because we are the only ones who can change the story we tell ourselves in the mind about what happened or the emotions. I said, I don't want to have, I weird. It's not running away from the emotion, no. But you decide how long you want to stay in that emotion. I mean, all emotions are good. They carry information. They are messengers of something. So just stay with that and don't get stuck. And this is the process that we have to learn. It's called mental alchemy. What is alchemy? Turning lead into gold, turning fear into trust.
That's beautifully explained because so many times we don't understand, and I think sometimes even just Western culture doesn't understand the link between mental and emotional and physical. But I think about when we have a nightmare and you wake up and your heart is racing and you're cold or you're in a sweat.
You're shaking.
You have a physical response to what the brain was dreaming about. I've had nightmares where my joints ached because of all the tension.
Of course.
I think that it's a good example of it was just the brain thinking through things that makes all of those physical.
Of course, it was that dream was in your subconscious, no, in your consciousness, in your imagination. But the subconscious cannot make the difference between reality or fantasy and it's real. So it reacts. Your body reacts, gives information to your body, sends the stimuli. It's correct, Phil said.
Yeah.
And imagine if you live your life through that stress when you are awake for a long time. Imagine what happens with your joints, with your body, with your muscles. And here comes immune diseases. There is no cure for that. Medicine that doesn't understand it. They cannot find medical explanation. What is the cause? They don't know. They don't look to the emotion because we are holistic beings. And in order to be functioning to our maximum potential, we have to take care of our physical body, our energetic emotional body, and of course spiritual body. And this reminds me of this saying I grew up in my primary school, big letters, mens sana in corpore sano, in Latin, which means healthy mind in healthy body. Healthy mind in healthy body. The correlation between the mind and the body. You have a healthy mind, you create a healthy body. You have not, a struggling mind, emotional, it affects your physical health indeed. So, yeah, we are emotional beings. We are energy. Energy is information. Emotions are information. Thoughts are information. Yeah. Our reality starts in the invisible world, and we don't pay attention. If we haven't been taught, maybe one day we study this at school, and we will live in a happier place, happier place.
Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, thank you for asking.